Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable audience, ladies and gentlemen, I am very glad to be here with you in this session, in which I want to recall a few historical periods and facts showing that Iran is committed to the development and revival of the Silk Road. Iran's relationship and critical role in the construction, maintenance and renewal of Silk Road is entering its third millennium. The ancient cultures of Iran, China, and the Middle East generally had cooperation not only on commercial, but also on security, diplomatic, and cultural issues. As history attests, towards the beginning of the first millennium, the Parthian dynasty ruling over Persia benefited massively from custom duties levied on goods transported between Roman-dominated Europe and China on the Silk Road that stretched under their dominions from them in Mesopotamia to western China. The Parthian dynasty, which was in favor of expanding East-West trade relations, closely supervised and maintained the road. The Silk Road consisted of a series of land and marine routes that link various civilizations. This road made a great contribution to the development of human civilization. In Iran, the Silk Road was of special importance, considering the rule of silk in ancient times. It can be said that the history of Iran and the Silk Road were intertwined. The trade and cultural exchange between the two great countries of Iran and China were carried out by the Silk Road. It seems that as early as the 16th century BC, King Darius established military checkpoints on these roads in order to ensure the safety of the caravans. The road between the city of Shush and Sardis was the continuation of the Silk Road, which had been built to boost the silk trade between the East and the West. By playing key role in the Silk Road, Iran made great contribution to the booming of silk trade and other commodities to the West. During the Parthian era, the Silk Road was still an important route for the exchange of commodities between various countries. Some steps were taken to repair and expand the Silk Road during the reign of the Parthian Emperor Mehrdad II. Around the end of the first millennium, at the beginning of the second millennium, Iran was in the center of the Islamic Renaissance. The Islamic State had extended from western China, the Indus River, and all of the way westward to North Africa and Spain. Iran's role as a scientific, philosophical, and cultural center was boosted by its geographical location and heritage. With the help of Chinese paper production techniques, Chinese, Indian, Persian, Arabic, and Greek science and philosophy was translated and proliferated over most of the inhabited globe. This was the greatest process of exchange of ideas between culture ever, leading into the European Renaissance in the 14th century. The revival of the Silk Road would have considerable benefits for Iran, China, and their neighbors, and would prove the geopolitical role of Iran as a commercial and diplomatic intersection in the world. Iran has made great endeavors to revive the Silk Road in the last decade of the second millennium and the beginning of the third. The railroad of Mashhad, Sarax, Tajan, which was located on the ancient Silk Road, was put into operation in the persons of His Excellency Ayatollah Hashemi Rafsanjani, the former president of Iran, with the persons of 11 heads of states and diplomatic representatives of 45 countries from around the world, in 14 of May 1996. On that occasion, Ayatollah Rafsanjani, the Iran president, stated that one can easily notice that even though the Silk Road was a trade route for freeing goods, it played an important and effective role on cultural, social, and artistic communications. The revival of the Silk Route through construction of the lengthy Persian Gulf, Sarax-Tajikistan Railway, which once again links China to Central Asia via Iran, in a continuation of efforts of Iran to expand the Silk Road. In 1998, Iran completed a railway connection to the northwest from Tabriz to one in Turkey. Thus, the new Silk Road was connected to Europe again. In 2001, the Mashhad-Baf-Bandar Abbas line was completed, connecting landlocked Central Asia to the Persian Gulf. Iran also completed the Baf-Kerman-Zahedan railway to Pakistan borders, connecting Iran to the Indian subcontinent. The north-side corridor between Russia, Iran, and India is being constructed now through Armenia and the Caucasus, from India through Chabahar port in southeast Iran, and the completed Iranian railway system, Southeast Asia and the Indian subcontinent, will be connected to Northern Europe. By constructing this network of railroads, commercial transit on a global scale has been reduced between east, west, and south, north by weeks, compared to sea routes. Besides trade, this development corridor building has massive implications for the economic, social, and political development for the peoples involved. From the very beginning, the construction of this railroad and revival of the Silk Road, which was accomplished by contrivance of Iran's authorities, was meant to provide the basis economic growth and diplomatic relation promotion in the region. As was stated at the inauguration ceremony in 1996, Ayatollah Hashemi Rafsanjani wished the Silk Road to be the road to peace and friendship by connecting this railroad to it. The Islamic Republic of Iran also welcomed the recent initiative announced by President China to launch the Silk Road Economic Belt. Last May, President Hassan Rouhani, after the meeting president in Shanghai, spoke to the press on Iran-China relation. He said, China is now Iran's biggest trade partner. We have many cooperation agreements with China in international and regional issues. We agree with the idea of the revival of Silk Road. In the past, China has been engaged with the countries alongside the Silk Road in the aspects of culture, economy, and trade, and also in other areas like energy and transportation. These ties between China and Iran and other countries in the region can be resumed. So the plan of Silk Road Economic Belt could be successful. Ladies and gentlemen, the world needs peace and friendship. The new Silk Road can extend to Europe and become our ambassador to Europe and the world. It does not mean that we should forget peace and friendship in the other areas. In my charity foundation for special diseases, have felt the pain and suffering of special patients who have been negatively affected by unpeaceful measures, especially sanctions, that can compromise people's health. We all should do your best for peace in all aspects of human life. Charity Foundation for Special Diseases has made appropriate reaction to echo the harms and communicate the voice of patients for peace and illegality of any sanction that target innocent people. I also, as the Secretary General of Women's Solidarity Association of Iran, have always tried to cooperate with other NGOs in the world for the purpose of peace that could be motivated by women both in and out of Iran. The Women's Solidarity Association of Iran has done its best to promote women organization and active presence of women in social and cultural areas, and to help the process of the development of their societies by striving to solve problems facing women. Honorable audience, now the Schiller Institute, by having a brilliant and credible history of efforts to maintain and ensure peace and progress for all nations, fighting against war and violence, and lodging in the wars for respecting human rights and dignity, could propel the public opinion towards global peace through holding such these conferences. In the end, I would like to thank you for all your initiative and efforts. Thank you very much.